Hey guys, this is Julian with my favorite breakfast space. So in this video I'm going to be talking about my various tangles of Forex and why sometimes 3 times is a charm. So basically, if you guys have been following my YouTube channel, and actually all of these videos are also re-uploaded to my YouTube channel as well. So if you don't catch it here, you can catch it there. It's a first time round, I basically got in and out of Forex about this is my 3rd time. The first time I thought I knew what I was doing, which obviously I didn't. And then but you know what's interesting? The first 2 times I messed up because I had no idea of how much the market can whipsaw during events. So first time I got messed over with whipsaws. Second time I got messed over with whipsaws as well. The first time I did it myself. The second time around, I basically I actually went with a local company. And at the time in Singapore, there was a company that was accepting millions of dollars of local clients, and they were doing a really good job through automated algorithmic trading. And on that second round, it was working great for over a year. And finally, one fine day, there were things that happened outside the algorithm, and unfortunately that was martingaling also. And when there are a lot of big positions and when there's a sudden whipsaw, poof, there it goes. So I thought I was not going to touch Forex again. But the interesting thing is that when I had to try Forex again for the 3rd time, because there were just so many students, they were asking me could you look into Forex for our sake? So many people in London, in UK and as well as Europe, they could not actually trade binary anymore because of ESMA regulation changes, because of side regulation changes, and then they were doing good trading binary, and suddenly it's all taken away. Within 2 months, regulators were saying no, you can't do this anymore. So I decided to give Forex a look. I was I told everyone, give me some time. It's not going to be instant. I want to first check it out, see if I can do it. Give me some time to see if I can adapt the strategies I use in binary into Forex. Initially, I thought, well, if you like, the least I could do is probably just to show you around the indicators, how to use differently in Forex compared to binary, and what are the various indicators you want to be using, how you want to be setting up your charts, how to actually set up your charts on MT4, how to make orders and stuff. But with trading, initially before I gave it much thought, I was how am I going to do this? Because I was crippled with all these bad experiences. And what's interesting, I'm going to show it to you now. Okay, coming from the background in binary and now going into Forex, what that insight has given me is that I do my stop losses very, very differently from how most Forex gurus would teach. A lot of Forex gurus will say last swing low, last swing high, blah blah blah, and you should be taking a 1-to-1, or you do I drew the Fibonacci here to be oh, you should get out one at 161.8, you should get out the other one at 261, or 423.6, blah blah blah. And my experience in binary is that I didn't use Fibonacci that much because I know that it's a human construct, a psychological construct, and it's something that once people start believing in, it doesn't work. And there'll be different times in the market where it works more or works less. And also I found out in binary that when you do trading, because in binary we have the early close. Early close only came in the last 1 year maybe. So before that we had no early close function. It was either we roll over or we just basically wait for the trade to expire. So early close in binary has been one of the best features, and it kind of really it kind of made it a lot more tradable, because if we find that the trade's not working out, we just close in advance, take a small loss. The cool thing about Forex though is that when we decide to early close it, we don't actually have to necessarily take a loss. It could just be we lose out on spread, lose out on commission. Sometimes we even get out with a small profit. Okay? It's the cool thing about Forex. And on top of that, so far this week, I've early closed about 3 trades already, and early close with almost with a profit that's almost equal to the risk allocated to that trade. So it's actually okay. Mindset shifts. I used to think that Forex would be like less profitable because of the having to hold trades for like hours or days or weeks. But actually, I realized that now I do all my trades with position size calculator, and it's quite easy to gauge like what kind of trade size I should put on the trade. So I use that before every single trade. I use the position size calculator on my FX book. It's free. You can use it. Also, it's like at myfxbook.com/forex calculators position size. It's really, really good. Over here, you can simulate an account size. You can even do compounding every time you trade, and you can just set what's your stop loss. And for example, if your stop losses are very, very tight, it's going to give you bigger trading sizes as well, and that's going to help your profitability. So like a lot of my setups that I do nowadays, my risk reward is really, really well done. In this case, like over here, this is one trade that I have. Stop loss is just about like 16 pips, and the take profit's about 53. Will it actually get there? Well, the answer is it depends. Sometimes it gets there, sometimes it doesn't. But even if it doesn't, there are criteria that I use, which I learned from binary as well, that I exit the trade early. So I exit the trade early in a profit. Because in binary, like I'm always drilling myself with 15 second, 30 second, and with that, I have a very good idea as to. I mean, the charts. Okay, you can say that on the 15 second, 30 second, the charts are kind of like it's busier. It's a lot more fluctuation, and with the busyness and the fluctuation, it becomes some sort of unpredictable as well, or like it's full of surprise. But when you go over to the higher time frames, like everyone says, the higher time frame that you go, the more noise gets removed. And going over to the higher time frames, it was like, wow, this is a no-brainer. Everything is so much cleaner. For instance, like this is like a M30, and an M30. I see very solid ranges of green, all red, all green, all red, all red. It's almost like Heiken Ashi on a lower time frame, because on a lower time frame you're not going to see so much of that. Like this is rare, but you would you very often see like mixtures of green, red, green, red, green, red. In the process of the swing. And sometimes it consolidates a lot, and it just gets, if you're trying to do a breakout, if you're trying to do a reversal, you just get confused. When should you get out? How should you stay in? But when I look at it in Forex right now, it's like on the higher time frames, well, there isn't that noise. It's cleaner, it's easier to work with. So another question that a lot of people ask is like, what happened to binary? Binary is still going on. So every day, Monday to Friday, my cousin Kevin, he actually comes in. He actually does usually the London session, and he actually posts trades inside of our group chat, like what to look at. For example, he would say Euro USD. Let's look at 30-second trade setting up. Breakout on GBP CHF setting on the M1. All right, and that goes on for about like 2 hours or 2.5 hours every London session. Kevin usually likes to do London. Sometimes he does Asian, but mostly it's London. So binary is still going on, and every Tuesday I have a binary elite webinar. And for this week, we're going to be doing Forex on a Friday. It's usually done on Thursdays. So today, basically in about 12 hours from now, 11.5 hours from now, I'll be doing the binary webinar, and tomorrow is going to be the Forex. Okay, so that's what you can actually that's what you could actually look into. And it's good to learn two things at the same time. If you've been doing binary for some time, why not check out Forex as well? It's pretty cool. There are times when market is there are times when the market is like really stale and binary, and would you agree with me that sometimes spending more time in front of the terminal doesn't actually help your profits? Because sometimes, you could be looking for that one extra trade, and it's that one extra trade that kind of makes you do something stupid and pisses you off to make you do more stupid stuff. Okay, but in Forex, basically, it's pretty much like sit and wait. So there are times, obviously, when the market's really oscillating in a 10-15 pip range when binary is really, really good. I mean, hands down. I mean, where else can you get 15-20 trades in half an hour? You could easily get, if you're sizing everything at 2%, well, and if you want 70% of those, you're already maybe like a double-digit return on that day. But in Forex, on the other hand, well, basically, I think it's fairly doable to get about like because if the loss is set at 2% and the profits are like usually more than losses, so we're getting like, let's say 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 or whatever for every 2% risk. Double-digit return is also possible. I mean, it depends. If there's more breakout, the better. More breakouts, the better. Bigger rebounds, the better. But well, it's fairly okay to find a 6 to 8% daily return. So that's what I wanted to share. I used to have a lack of confidence in Forex from the bad experiences, but knowing how to kind of handle the trades, to monitor them, to shift my trading stops, to close early. Most importantly, I think a lot of the mistakes that I had in the past due to a lack of understanding. And with the Forex learning group I set up, basically I teach everything ground zero. I teach myself and I teach you, and I think something that you could also do is that, well, if you have a significant other, it could be a spouse, could be a boyfriend or girlfriend, why not share with them what you do and see if you can explain to them what you think is correct. When you do that, it's going to help you improve your understanding and confirm some things. Because even for me, sometimes I'm making a video and halfway into the video, I decide to re-record something. I start to ask myself hang on, is that right? Did I draw this line in the right place? Hang on, just a sec. I'm going to correct this on the spot. So when you teach something to someone that like your significant other, for instance, it helps you to question yourself if it's right. Increase your confidence. The more you do that, it actually, let's say if you could actually get your significant other into trading as well, I would think that you'll be a much trader than you are today. And so that is without a figure of doubt, I actually am able to get into trades without worries on is it going to mess up, So anyways, I know it's kind of ramble. This is a vlog after all, and just want to kind of recap some of the stuff and the thoughts that I've been in this Forex journey. So if you're looking to join the Forex group, you can actually join it for free as long as you open a broker account of 500 and above through me. I've just added on ETX Capital, so now we have 3 brokers that you can choose from. There's ETX Capital, there's XM, there is Traders Way. I'm looking to add more as well, and you can check out the links in the video description. I'm going to be updating them right after this, and contact the page admin and you can get your access right away. For those of you who are watching this video on YouTube, simply send an email, or you can also do a Facebook message as well. All right. Email should be sent to new accounts at theBinaryLab.net. And I want to warn you guys who subscribe to my YouTube channel that there are a lot of fakes who try to copy, with a misspelling of Binary Lab or my name, and then they would try to contact you by leaving a reply to your comment, say that the direct message, this email, send an email to this address, blah blah blah, which are once again misspellings. So the best way and the only way you should be contacting would be my Facebook page, There's facebook.com/thebinarylab page, or send an email to newaccounts@thebinarylab.net. Okay, that's the best way to contact. Bye for now. Good trading.